I want to talk about the Mario Future Revolution. I was canceled, and the Zero Zero, and its review of um the series and the Mario Future Revolution, the series that had a chance to come back. It got canceled for because the players didn't support the game. It was just it didn't have like update. It didn't have like new updates. They could have put the Spider Verse in the game of Marvel Future Revolution. It was created by a different studio, and that's why it was a thing. There was something about that. And then it was made by like similar to like Resident Evil 7 was supposed to be made by like the team that made Alien Isolation, but they made it by themselves. It's like Marvel Future Revolution had a chance to make its own game. It was very good. It was like the multiverse. It was like the Wolverine. It was like a bunch of gear, a bunch of the gear score. It was like it's like how the Spider Verse could have, that in the series, the Spider Verse, and it could have the how it is with the Spider Verse. But it came to Marvel Future Fight, and not in the Marvel Future Revolution that had a chance for like an update. But no, and that's why it was changed. It was the only thing that was like, it was leading the mobile, and even Life After, but Life After hadn't like updated anything yet, anything of Marvel Future Revolution. It has been cancelled because it wasn't supported, but it was a good game and it has good graphics. Like that was like a thing. Then compared to the Avengers 2020 or the Avenger game, that didn't like have like this type of treatment. It was a good game too, the Avengers. That's why it came both. But I played the Marvel Future Revolution with both games. Listen, the Marvel Future Revolution have like characters like Wolverine, Iron Man, has like all its gear and how it looks, the gear. It would have gone to consoles also, but it was only one time. But it went serious. This it has like players. You level up. You have to control your character to win. And in like for example, like they do with the like something collaboration or something that is like it's temporary coming out and then it's finished and then the game is finished or something like that. I'm not sure. That's why Marvel Future Revolution has like the multiverse, the Spider Verse. Like I never thinking they will have a game that will be the Spider Verse based on the movie of Across the Spider Verse, and have Spider-Man 2099 and Miles Morales and its universe you could visit. And imagine if it could be something that you could be the host, like creating like a clan or something, like doing cannons and complete cannons, and then you or be like also could like remove their watches so that they can stay in the universe, or they could get trapped similar how like the Spider Verse is, like they capture like Dr. Octopus and put them in the dimension, like cell or something like that. But that will not be like that. And that's why the Spider-Verse comic did came. This is like 2099. Like I never thought it would be. Fortnite did have a skin with Spider-Verse collaboration with Marvel, and they have Miles Morales and Spider 2099, but not like an official like a Spider-Verse game or something like that. And it did come out, and just seeing that it could be like Gil score not 800 something with the watch, or the special power or be with the team. Visit different multiverses. It would be like similar to the Avengers from PlayStation 2. It's like this, you know, and then you visit, but you become the captain of your base. It could be anything, like December, like this, like the Marvel Future Revolution, like Stark base, like how this was. Or become the captain, and then controlling, and then see, like you can even watch the computer or something to like have to watch to see if the multiverse is okay, and then they could send their teammates over there, or they're not doing their job, you know, they could take off the watch from the multiverse. Something similar to like from the movie, you know, something could be used, but no. This is in my opinion. That's why 2099 was a good character, and the 2099 was good. Like there's already a live action of a Marvel that's finished, with like how Ghost in the Shell was, how it was. It could go straight to sci-fi, I think, because like the movie Resident Evil of Death Island was like kind of celebrating the month of sci-fi or something like that, and then it could go straight to like the sci-fi series, so that the Resident Evil could have that in it. But they didn't have it. They didn't put it in of the series of the multiverse, and like it had a chance to be in there, and its characters, like the characters, it's Resident Evil, and it could have like there is a live action, like I say, it will never go that directly with the characters of Resident Evil. It could go straight to sci-fi, I think. But it will not. Like it's always like the same title to something or something like that. As a viewer, it's just only the TV series, only the Resident Evil, only not the other featurings. This is entitled just to Resident Evil to see it. And like Resident Zero 1, but it doesn't like it didn't like went serious. It did like similar to like what like Super Justice League was, changing the characters, and I never expected Resident Evil to be like that. And there was a thing where it said that if it wasn't similar to the canon universe, and it's direct like how similar like Bleach, and similar to Bleach, and Bleach, and similar to Full Metal Alchemist, like that treatment, or One Piece, on how they did with One Piece. One Piece also could do Saint Seiya, but there was a reason why Saint Seiya came out in a different way. it was like made by like similar how like it could have been like similar to Resident Vandella treatment. It was created by the studio or something like that. Like Bleach was how it was made, and Yuki Kenshin, the anime of like the samurai thing from Yuki Kenshin, and from uh re, re, um and like Resident Zero, and that could be like the same treatment like that if they were made and it's in Netflix or some type of way or in a different or sci-fi, but it was not. I just posted this that for that it could be, but never. You know, like how Marvel did with the when Resident Evil did with the Alice movie and the Marvel they kind of help, but one of their like team got something happened, and that's why they they kind of like are the same. Like Marvel is kind of helping or not with Resident Evil. Not like that. It's similar to like the Street Fighter series, like Capcom vs SNK, Capcom vs Marvel or Street Fighter, and then that's why the movies of their actors, their movie of the actors go straight to Marvel. Welcome to City. I see why they put like a low budget, but they did brought some that are from like the Marvel. I went to the reboot, but I posted like a Resident Zero thing. That could be there's two versions. Like one that's like similar to like Welcome Raccoon City, how the cast of the director did with like with um with the Maze Runner and Marvel, and they brought them in two big names or three big names, well known because they were in those movies, and they went straight to the Marvel, no, to Resident Evil Welcome Raccoon City as Claire and Jill Valentine. But like I showed some examples like that. It's like that one with Resident Evil. Guessing Resident Evil perhaps will be like similar to like how they cast if they went serious with the characters. If they wanted to put them exact same as how they look and like exact same as the counterparts, that could be like that from like Stranger Things and then another one that's doing the alien movies. But they probably will go lower, very low, like low budget, perhaps like a different new, don't never before, that you never seen to watch or never heard of, like Resident Zero. And what like some has does story on their own with the cast or something from Resident Evil, where from like fans making like some stories, some type of way of their favorite series, and I see a few things of that example of some fans does their own story with their favorite series because they wanted to say what if series or something else, and I'm like that. I read see what 3 story could be. It could go like I say. I could guess 3 versions will be from the movie like Resident Evil. Like I kind of know the story of Resident Evil a lot, and I have seen the like its style. Resident 3. It would have been interesting to see if they have kept it similar to Raccoon City, but make them look very close to the characters. If they have really done like a reboot, like how they like I'm kind of similar to Marvel some way because I was with Marvel. Only just a fan. Only this is my opinion. I was kind of with Marvel, with the Marvel Future Revolution, and how it was, and I stick with it. Like it's like what I'm doing. That's it for like just for fun, and that's why my Marvel Future Revolution was canceled, and even um, Final Fantasy First Soldier 2 that would have been in there. That was kind of competing against like Fortnite during that time, and like it's kind of competing against Fortnite, and and then I did another series. With that, I did another series with the Resident Evil. Like an infliction back and forth with the Resident Evil, and trying to like guess could be, and like the story of Resident Evil 3 could be, because I have seen like others doing like kind of like a story thing for Resident Evil 3, and what would it be? There was like a game that I played. It was like it was created from a different YouTuber with Resident Evil 3. It was an Indian game, um, a small game RPG, and it's like, and how it looks, it was great. It showed Jill, and then she was in the Raccoon City started the how the zombies enter to the Raccoon City, how it started, how they like taking the characters, and Jill was in her like apartment. Jill was in her apartment, and then the stars, the like mercenaries that still survive, like they still survive, but yeah, but series of Resident Evil, the series of Resident Evil, the how it looks, it was a lot different. Um, there wasn't like mercenaries team together with Kylos. There was a few characters that I seen from the fan game of Resident Evil 3 that was like kind of like speaking a different language, like Brazilian, and it was really good, the story, and it was very excited. It's like they even created another series with like a preview or like a storytelling about Raccoon City, but it's about the stars members only. They did show Bravo team, but I think they weren't like a big fan of the story of Bravo. They just stick with stars members from Brazil, Capcom, and they did that with a preview to the fans, and then it shows in Raccoon City and went to Arkley Mountain, and that's the end of the series of Resident Evil, the story origins from Capcom Brazil that created um the story of Resident Evil, the story of Stars and how it started. It made sense, and they created like another fan game, like similar to the other modders that created it, like Katamon and What If the Stars Survive type of thing, and they made um they made the Resident Evil Zero, and they made Resident Evil 3 because they're like a big fan of Resident Evil 3, I think. Like they made two versions of Resident Evil 3, the fan game of Resident Evil 3, the where it was like the original, but in that story it started with she is in her like a room, but it's playable. Like Nemesis hasn't entered the stars from Resident Evil 3. Nemesis hasn't entered, and then the RPG Maker is about she's got out from her room or something. She met Brad Vicker, and then they went away, and then that's when they met Carlos, And then there's Nikolai, no Mikau. I like that more than Resident 3 Remake, what they changed the name and how it sounds Mikau something. And he was like active. He wasn't like injured. He was doing his mission or something, saving civilians or something from Resident 3, the game, Resident 3. But it was like a Brazilian version game. It is really good, and it has like subtitles of English, and it was good. And then there's Carlos, there was Nikolai, and there was another area that was added, other stuff, other puzzle. But like that would have been something to do, like if it was a TV series or fan series. Like I say, Capcom Brazil has made uh, Capcom Brazil had just made its own series, and the the Capcom Brazil made its own series, and it created the Brazil series, and they made the fan game, and they dubbed the like Brazilian stuff, like how Spanish that game, and then become like it's better the Spanish because similar to like Resident Evil saw that the Spanish but similar to Dragon Ball Z, or like the Spanish of Dragon Ball Z is better because of Goku. Oh, the cutscenes, and that's why you went serious with the cutscenes, and and it has its cutscenes with Dragon Ball Z, Spanish all serious, and that's why the voice of like in Spanish is better than like Spain or some type of way. Like I'm not comparing which one is better, but I think Spanish is better because the Resident Evil Vandella was in Spanish. It was a lot different, just like in Dragon Ball Z, Goku Black, the series, and how it was performed with the Spanish of Goku, and that's why it was better, and that's why there's like mods, and I didn't know it's really the same team that did the voice over like how Bandera, when I saw Spanish the first time, and it was well performed. Like I'm not know much about the series or the um the performance. I don't know. I'm not an expert of the stories. It's just that I seen it from Capcom Brazil, and or I'm not sure. And it's series, and it's like it would have been interesting to see a Resident Zero remake or a like I already talked about Marvel, but now I'm talking about Resident Evil. It looks like Marvel is kind of helping some type of way with the Resident Evil, but not much. Um, it's just that it has been made by the Alice, and like they have some Marvel, and some have what happened to the other Marvel that was injured or some type of way. I'm not sure. Um, but like I said, Resident Evil, this is already close to them. I see why they changed the looks from the series. I see why they decided to put the characters of Resident Evil. The live action would be it does like I said, Carlos already exists. Carlos could be like um wherever he is, Carlos, and from Resident Evil 3, like from Resident Evil 3, I'm not sure what would be for Resident Evil 3. Um, I see those two examples I did with Resident Evil 0 because I see like how Billy is. But I'm not sure it will turn out to what my prediction would be for Resident Evil 0. And like Carlos is different. is and Nemesis. I would like it to be the same. That's why Welcome Raccoon City did a great job with like the cutscenes. Like they did it perfectly. Like how the chopper like came to the mansion and then they dodged it. But I see why they decided to went their own ways with the series, and its story and the series of its story and how it looks and the the series how it looks and how they chose. Two examples. I show two examples because like I really do care. Like I'm not an expert of like the cast or some type of way. Not one bit. I'm just a fan. It's just that Volcom Raccoon City, they did it perfectly with the cutscenes when the chopper came in and such, and even the zombies and sounds. And but like my playthrough with the Brazilian game of like Resident Evil 3, it was a lot better than I seen. It was a good game. I didn't know about Resident Evil Zero, the remake, or anything that ever will come back. I don't know much about it. Like Billy Corgan. There's two versions, but it's not like what the movies are doing. It's just that they just did it, or someone, and like that's why it's like kind of complete with Resident Evil Zero. Not like the whole. I only care about the main characters of the series, just the main characters of the series. Like it's very cool to see if they ever will try to adapt the series and make it into like based on the original, then just change it to a different direction for like every movie does, or some type of way. Like Carlos would have been shown a lot of his mercenary team with Mikau and keep the word like Mikau, from the original. If you repeat these cutscenes and you keep seeing how they pronounce Mikau from his captain, from mercenaries from Umbrella, that's what it is. And Nemesis is like perhaps will show him some type of way, maybe like still doing making him awake so that he can prepare to take down Jill Valentine. And Jill Valentine, there's different versions, and I see why they changed the race. And then it looks like rumors that are trying to change the characters or some type of way. Like that's the reason why Resident Evil did it for themselves to make the Resident Evil series and the CGI of Death Island and Vendetta. And that's the example, that's the example. It's just like Code Veronica. They did that example of that, and they took it into Death Island and Vendetta. They would have gone very serious with Welcome Raccoon City if they had put like more effort in the like on their own and like put Nemesis or really Birkins in it, or like how there was a crossover in the manga, a crossover, and then the only Jill, Carlos, Leon, and Clara met each other in that series. And Clock Tower, where she has a memory flashback, William Birkins came out, would have um taken down Jill, but left her be. Like I said, I see why some of the characters are like this is the reason why they are from Marvel and DC Universe from Justice League, from that's probably well known from like some series, some horror movie, like the Flow or the alligator. There was like a bunch of alligators, and the Maze Runner was that became the Claire Redfield. They always give you hints, This I want to talk about. This is not like a reference at all. It's just that it just give you a hint. Maybe sometimes you got it right. and you thought you had it. It's similar to the games, you know. It's like that, similar to the games. And the movie is kind of like the game because the universe of Welcome Raccoon City was. It was the universe. It's like a movie, but it's the game universe now, and they made it real. Make it real now. The zombies entering. The Stars members got killed off. Chris almost got killed. Jill saved Chris, and then this tunnels, and it's always been cut. You know, it always from Resident Zero that could have gone connected through Raccoon City. And Raccoon City showed that, and they showed like the T virus or something from Resident Evil, the series, and such. But decided to put the main focus on Claire and Chris and how they were, like, how they were growing up. And Chris was the favorite, was having everything, and Claire just went on her own. I never saw Chris again, or some type of way. I don't know much of that. That was like a different story, different thing. And then they used the Code Veronica cutscenes to be in it, and then it shows the Code Veronica of Alexa Asper and her brother or something, and then from Code Veronica, and they say they want to do a Code Veronica, or we're not sure if they want to continue with it. That's why they did both, like 0, 1, and 1, 2, and 3 combined in one movie of Welcome Raccoon City. They have potential, you know. They would have gone serious with the cast. But I don't know who would do a good kind of a good director be for the series of Resident Evil. I'm just a fan, just talking, and that Carlos will have been like from the, you know, like I say, just how they did, like how the Welcome Raccoon City did, right? They brought some from like the big names maybe from one series on their own. They wanted to, but they shouldn't like gone like the same direction as like Resident Evil does. Like not like lazy or some way, and then finally went serious, but it's too late or some type of way. Don't think shouldn't go in that direction. Just to, like maybe do the story. And they said it wasn't important for the fans to see the canon. They would have put the canon, you know. They would have to show how maybe they didn't saw the example from Resident Evil 3, the PlayStation 1, the entrance when they enter, and then the mercenaries come in. They could have showed those side characters too, you know, show them. There'll probably be a TV series or something about them, and then they get killed off, you know. And then Carlos will show, and Carlos will have his spotlight. Like that, you know. Mikau and then zombies appearing, you know. Like breaking like the doors or something. Like zombies, you know how Welcome Raccoon City is, and the zombies. And so Carlos will have been like on his own. Jill perhaps will be different. You know, I prefer Jill and Stars. Like uh like Resident Evil Stars. I had played in my playthrough with Resident Evil 3. Jill Valentine as Stars. Yeah, Resident Evil 3, Jill Valentine as Stars. That's my playthrough. I didn't enjoy the what was the classic or something. I prefer just Stars. If that makes sense, you know, being Stars and then not and staying that original from Resident Evil 1. It's just that it's overwhelmed her, and then could have shown mercenaries, you know. She's still being Raccoon City. Breath will show like the Stars members returning from Mercury Mountain because they were successful, but they fell misery because they weren't trained well. The outcome, it became like a Super Marvel thing, but its own way. It's almost later become like superpowers or some type of way. Jill perhaps will get hit, you know, from Resident Evil 3 if they had seen the mechanic of how Nemesis 101 versus and how he's like able to like with his powers, you know, and that's why Jill is dodging like a superhuman type of way. It does look like he's superhuman because he able to dodge. She's able to use her master of locking, um, using her expertise to escape from Nemesis. It could also show parts like that. It could have shown the Nemesis taking down like Brad, to show Brad in it, or some type of way on that story. It would have been something like that, you know, Nemesis shooting rockets, or Kylo's with his iconic original they would have used, like Kylo's like, this is Kylo's, come in, no survivors, or something like that, from the dialogue from Resident Evil 3 that I remember. And the Resident Evil 0, they set up the stage. There's a reason why this is a high participating games. Then it's Resident Evil 4. The Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, and 3 was based on zombies, survival, less ammunition, hard difficulty, like how Resident Evil 4 was. The remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake was great. The Resident Evil 4 remake is very good. All I added to it too is very good. You know, Resident Evil 4 remake with all four of them successful. You know, and the even the remake, the inspiration of Resident Evil 4 was great. Um, that's why I show some examples. This is owned by the rightful owners of Resident Evil. I'm just a fan only, just explaining. And this is just a discussion. It's not serious. There's no changing at all. This is my opinion and my guesses. And this is not a prediction at all. It's just that Rebecca Chambers, they have there's different version of universes that I've seen from the manga, and there's action, there's kind of balance action and horror, and there's more horror focus and less action, and that's why they didn't use like more like enhanced graphics for Resident Evil 3 remake, and that's why in Resident Evil 0 it didn't show zombies, it didn't show a lot of zombies, didn't like show the intro of Billy Cullen and how it started, the zombies outbreak from Resident Evil 0, and the T virus, and how Marcus was created in that type of way, and that started the superpowers thing with some type of way. That's why Resident Evil 3 and 0 I like the most than 1, because 1 is just different. I prefer 0 more and 3 because they were like more focused on helping each other, their teammates, they don't know each other, but they have to help each other. If not, they get killed off. And I didn't know much about his combat ability. Like Jill could handle them, but I'm not sure much. That's why they need Kylos and how they survive. And they could have shown like a TV series based on this series. Let's always give you a hint, you know. That's why I posted the other examples of Resident Evil than just talking. I posted some examples that Resident Evil could have been. There's like 4 version. There's already a Kylos, you know. And then it would be like it could have been treated the same as Stranger Things, you know, or like Chucky, like how they're doing it. They didn't go on to streaming. This is the reason why I went to Sci-Fi, you know. That's why in the movie theater, it's like they were celebrating. The movie theaters were celebrate. The movie was celebrating the Resident Evil Sci-Fi, and it could go straight to Sci-Fi. I'm not sure it got bought yet. Sci-Fi, I think it did got bought, but I'm not sure because they were like similar to 20th Century Fox, something like that. Independent, they will have to done right the series, you know. Probably will see the favorite series live on air in Sci-Fi. or some channel, but no. That's why Resident Evil 0 and 3 is still on hold. Resident Evil 0 and 3 is on hold. It has Justice League, Marvel Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, and then the Spider-Verse comes to another year. And Resident Evil has been doing its thing, but like I say, it could have gone. There's a reason why it was a kind of exclusive. Like I say, Jill Valentine. I can see there's like different versions of Jills that I've seen from this. I see why they chose like Japanese version of Jill. I see why they chose that. They do look exact same as the characters more than if no one like does a live action reboot, another reboot, or not like do another Resident Evil movie. They're gonna have to take it on their own, just like Bleach did. An example, Bleach, Full Metal Alchemist. Those two examples, even Yuki Kenshin, 3 movies, examples like that. But they made that movie, the live action, correctly with like the style of the anime. They didn't like disrespect it or some type of way. They kept it how it is. They kept the series how it is, and uh and they could have put Resident Evil 0 like that. That's why Jill and Becca is like that. But I prefer like the characters from Vendetta example like that. That type of version, like this type of high level. But I see why they want the movie could be B, movie B, like movie B, not like a movie A. I see why it's like a B movie, some type of way. But I see why it looks good, the Resident Evil Arkham City. But there's like 3 versions of Leon from Arkham City, and another 2 Leon. There's another Leon that looks exact same as the Leon from the original Resident Evil 4. It's just that they decided to not do a live action Resident Evil 4 on that direction. Series Leon respected the canon series of Resident Evil, and that's why they put like a different version, similar to like the Justice League series, where the Flash is serious. It's like this example. They put it. It's not Power Ranger the shows, but it's like a superhero thing on its own. Like the Flash, very serious than the new movie. The new movie looks different. Doesn't want serious, just like the Batman. It's finally went serious to Batman, but it's not. They don't mess with it, because it always has always like I'm an expert of the Batman, and that's why it went serious, how it is, and decided to make their show. Decided to make serious. They always kill off the superheroes. They always do that in the Justice League of Warner Brothers. They always kill off the superheroes. And Batman, I care more about Batman than Superman. And that's why the Batman went serious. They say there was a spin-off. But now that they got bought, they had that Warner Brothers have been bought, and that's why it's different now. It's different because they got bought, and it's different. I don't know if it's going to change the direction of the Batman. The Flash, the TV series of the Flash, than just the movie Superstar that is using a different Flash, different Flash. The original Flash would have been like the Flash, from the TV series. That's why it's it's very serious, and I think they care more about their character than the movie. The movie is just I don't know much I don't take sides. I don't know much about the Flash, the movie. It was good. They did right with the like this Supergirl, Superman, and then this Supergirl from Justice League or the Injustice League from the DC DC universe. And that's why the Flash is in the original. I prefer the TV series because it's like the treatment as this and Titans, Teen Titans, the series that came to Max, and you thought because they changed the platform of HBO Max to Max, um, and they changed their president that kind of owned the of the DC universe because they were the fan. They started off the HBO Max DC universe thing. They started the superheroes, and that's the reason why they did that. You know, because I see why they did that. They like kind of bring it. They were trying to bring it back from like the old days where there was like super like cartoons on the Saturday or something like that, on the 90s or some type of way. But they changed the president, or they that was owning the DC universe and HBO Max, and they gave it to the ownership, and that's why they removed it. But what happened? They brought The Last of Us, but The Last of Us TV series came in before they changed, before HBO Max changed ownership. And so we don't know if it will affect the Sony Last of Us series because how Max is. Like EW right now, I don't know if they lay off some uh employees from EW because they're doing the DC Arrowverse that time. There's the Flash. It was well made. It's not goofy from how the Justice League was or some type of way. Like the Batman one series, just two different versions. You know, they did first. There weren't no one like interrupt with the making the movie, and that's why they picked the Batman for the Justice League for what happened. Maybe some fans were kind of didn't like how the Batman was, and decided they wanted it to be serious, and so they brought like another serious name or something to be the Batman, and that's why it's coming. But they kind of don't want to go serious. They want to keep it like similar to the comics or some type of way. But the Batman finally went serious, and that we will have to spin off now. And that part, they brought the Blue Beetle. You know, the Blue Beetle is a better series. It's a very good series. It's like very care. The characters look. And it brought me like if they would Warner Brothers would have took um uh Resident Evil on its own, they would have taken it. They would have taken it, and they probably would have like put in eight Max than Netflix if they wanted the Resident Evil fans to be in there, like how they for the Justice League fans, like Batman, Superman, you know, and they Warner Brothers could do a story. They do care about stories, I think. That's why they made the Suicide Squad very good and popular. Very good, like John Cena was in it, and it was a good popular series, and it was a good series with Harley Quinn. That's the bad part that she gave up her spot being Harley Quinn. That's why they went very serious with Diane, and they would have to continue with the hype train if they wanted to. Was like similar how they did the Suicide Squad with the Blue Beetle. Could have brought another IP. They could have brought Resident Evil to Warner Brothers, Max, and that's for the fans. It would have been like that. But I don't think Resident Evil wants to do that. But The Last of Us, Sony did. Sony did, and put The Last of Us in Max. And Netflix hasn't renewed its series with Resident Evil yet because it's taking long. Just like Ghost in the Shell and such. I don't know what's the waiting or some type of way. Um, that's why Crunchyroll is now decided to take some of the series back, and it's a good thing, you know. Crunchyroll is bringing it back, but I don't know if they do a live action thing because One Piece pretty much is on Netflix. You know, it could be a producer. You know, some producer is now like how some famous actor becoming a producer. Took like the Ninja Tutor, One Piece. It could be, you know, they could do something. They even did the writing. They also could take part of Resident Evil if they wanted to and make them look exact same as the characters. They could really do that, you know. Just like some that producing Harley Quinn this season. They could do that. They could put it in, you know. Marvel hasn't done anything just on their own a bit, but they're starting to stay low a bit now. Um, but for Resident Evil, there could be a chance for a series to be revived on another reboot. Maybe either continue with Alice that made the Alice series that is good and decided to go serious and not trying to be the superhero for once. Maybe put like the original characters of Resident Evil. I think they could do that, you know. I think they could do that. They could put the horror zombies, different new way of the like how the zombies could appear. Um, but I see why the other studios took the One Piece. They took One Piece. They look exact same as this character. And like I said, Saint Seiya could look like the One Piece character too. There's that thing, you know, there's Vex Plus that did like their own zombies thing. No. But I don't think no one is willing to take part any of the Resident Evil series. They're just doing a diary only. But so there's another fan film movie too about Rebecca Chambers and Sheva. There's one movie about that too. Way back, there it exists. Like the perfect movie. It's about the DLC. What if a DLC for Resident Evil that Rebecca Chambers would have gone to the mansion, surviving with Richard. There's a fan game about that, of that stuff, that it's explaining that Rebecca is with Richard, from the only survivor from Bravo Team left before Richard got killed off in Resident Evil 1. There would have been a DLC for Resident Evil remake if that was exist. But no, but at least there's a fan game about that, you know? And that's why Warner Brothers could really could have take part of they would have been Resident Evil, you know. Warner Brothers would have been Resident Evil because you know they took the inspiration from Jurassic Park, the Terminator, in some type of way, and Aliens, the series, that's Alien Isolation. It's just that they hadn't made a series at all, but now they're starting to. Like Chucky, that's the reason why they went to Sci-Fi for viewership, and they did a good job on that thing. Then just streaming, maybe because they won't have affect them in that same direction. But I'm not sure how well this series will be for Nemesis. Like Resident 3 remake, Nemesis supposed to look scary. I could see they could survive some type of way from Resident 3 if it could ever be made. Like you said, Jill will happen. Like I know my things, you know. I could guess it, and then the Star Wars will There's a reason why Star Wars started the like live action thing. I'm not sure much, but I think they did because they were kind of like Resident Evil on its own because with Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, Anakin Skywalker. in that series. And that's why uh, the character of Padme from Star Wars would have been Jill Valentine. But what happened? No. But you see a few examples of the games or the characters from DLC. She would have been Jill Valentine. I see why. But in those movies, weren't they didn't make it. They didn't make the characters, the big names didn't take part of it, or maybe they never were mentioned, and that's why they did some examples in the video that it shows that they will have been, but it's different. Now, like now they have a chance. Um, but I see they only care about like sales or some type of way, a viewership. It could be in sci-fi. I think sci-fi is like a good spot. Like, I see why sci-fi is a good spot for them to be in the series. Yeah, sci-fi, Netflix, Flex Plus, Hulu will have been, or Max. Those things, or Shudder, or SHUDDER. It's like a horror franchise based on horror. They did like to see if only horror fans want to see. That's why it exists. And they brought Train to Busan. Train to Busan, the movie would have take this part. That's why in Netflix they brought Resident Evil, its original game, Sweet Home, Sweet Home. And then that would have make sense for Netflix to do, and that's why Netflix they have brought like some, if they want to do their own live action thing of like an action, they have stopped right now the team that did like Sweet Home horror, like some action thing and stuff on their own, or some type of Avengers way on their own. But like Japanese or movies or like that, or Korea or whatever, I'm not sure much like that. They did show some characters. They did show some characters that look like the counterparts of Jill Valentine. There is Jill exists, but not like the American version Jill that you would think you know. It would have been made like similar to like Bleach or Full Metal Alchemist, like that. It would be like that same treatment. It would have been like similar to Sweet Home, the movie of Netflix that has it. And that would happen like that. That's Resident Evil first game or some type of way with Sweet Home. That's why it's in there and in that horror. And they would have done a clock tower also, but then I wonder, they would have taken, and that's the reason why an example that takes so long. That's why it's an example with the Resident Evil Death Island and Vandella. Even so, they didn't want to make a series of CGI such, but they did on their own, from Death Island, This Generation, Damnation, and then Death Island, the movie. They will have take this part, and then I think the team that did like Sweet Home and Full Metal Alchemist that did the anime series thinks this, and not like similar to Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya, the movie, live action. That was a different version. It's good, but not like based on its counterparts like this, but more like Full Metal Alchemist of adaptation, more of that of the style, more like similar to the Full Metal Alchemist and Yuki Kenshin, both anime, movie, live action, like that treatment. And then the characters would have been like Jill would have been different, and Rebecca. That's the reason why I did some two versions, that example I did just for the Resident Zero fan cast. Two versions of that example. It's like a game, like how it present to you of a game of these versions would have been. It's like that in the movie. But they're doing their own thing, spin off or made up different horror um type of movie. That's why they did that, you know. They would have done this from Netflix, but they didn't, you know. They didn't because they decided to do their own horror or different thing. But the only thing they did right was Sweet Home. Only that one and the Zombies, A Train to Busan, before it was removed from Netflix. They would have continued with the zombies, and they would have done like this if they had, or they have given, if Resident Evil had given them permission to use this Resident Evil 3, they would have done maybe done it right perfectly, similar to like Full Metal Alchemist. Similar to Full Metal Alchemist, but they decided to not do that. So that's those examples that I'm talking about the movie and the series and Carlos. And my favorite is Carlos, Jill, Billy, Rebecca. You know those characters of its story, not like side characters. It's okay to show them, but but I don't like. I kind of know about the Resident Evil series. I know about the Resident Evil series, like how it was in Arkham City, how like the how it was and um how it was different um back in the day, how it was different and how it was like the first to do like the Resident Evil series and talk about it and do like and trying to guess and make about the Resident Evil series would have been and even discussion, and that was a thing before like others had started on the Resident Evil series, like that example, and like what was the message that you could have sent to Resident Evil, but it was removed now and changed, but it did have like a message button to send a message like to Resident Evil, and talk. I see why they made Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 4, and I see why they did Resident Evil 4, this generation, they did Death Island, they did all of that on their own, you know, and that was like I said, there was like a message to send, so that you kind of talk to Resident Evil some type of way. That was that was the thing. That was the thing way back. That was the thing to send a message, and and I think that's why they made it. But what happened? What happened? The producer, Hiro Kobayashi, left, and they say, and now it's not how it was. I'm kind of worried. This is my opinion only. I'm worried about the series, but it's nothing. Like I don't own any of this. I'm just a fan. And I just play discussion. I see others doing like mods and like such. And like Resident Evil, I just wanted to do this. That's it. Like how it was. Way back before it was like Infinite Darkness came. Like it wasn't like a thing, you know, or fan page or some type of way from Resident Evil fan page. I don't know to send a message before it was removed. I didn't know much about that. And that's why that was a thing, you know, was a thing before like Fortnite started its collaboration, and that was different too from Fortnite collaboration, and that's why Resident Evil did this later, you know, Xbox and such, and PlayStation 5 and how it is now. But this is Resident Evil, you know. How the movie started its movie. Like for example, for me was Ghost in the Shell and Vendetta, and that's when it started, you know. And David Lynch's series. David Lynch's series started it, and like the X-Men too, but like the X-Men, the David Lynch's series, and uh, Ghost in the Shell, Resident Evil. Like I said, it's nothing no more. I just explained, and I see why some making their own story, some type of way of Resident Evil. But I just put some examples only, and that's how it was. But it's not serious. And like I said, it was like Resident Evil did have like a message to send, and it was like a like a talk or discussion or like things that what was Resident Evil was. Um, and that's why like a discussion, like a fan page it was a message, and you just talk, and you kind of, that's the reason why I kind of know some type of way a lot about Resident Evil. I kind of know a lot about Resident Evil. Like others trying to do the same, but like I say, I kind of know a lot about Resident Evil, and that's why they made like Resistance. Why they made a Resistance? Why? Why they made Resistance? Then the modders, and that's why they made Resistance. Like I say, I have no I don't know much about the Resident Evil, and or the I'm just a normal player talks about Resident Evil, and it's been like a while, and then I started to talk about Resident Evil now, and Carlos and Jill, like how it was, you know, like I used to be on Max, and it was a thing that like kind of like they say it's a Hokage, but it's not, you know. It was like a it was like similar to Toonami. I'm like a kind of a host, similar to Toonami, you know. I just like say things or something like and not serious. It never will come up the series, you know. It never like pop out the preview or some in like Netflix or Max, you know. They would have Toonami live series, like live channels and live channels from Toonami from Max, but no, Hulu has it, but it's different, you know. It's different. Like this way, I don't care. I don't care much about like viewership or say entitled to some series that no. This is only Resident Evil only, you know, only Resident Evil. It's just that the movies is doing its own thing. The movie is doing its own thing and 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 stuff. But like I say, I always been like in Resident Evil, and I just step in some other series like the Batman once or another one, and that's it. But I always kind of stay in Resident Evil. And as I'm not entitled to the Resident Evil at all. Like how the most like kind of producers or some say. I'm just a normal player and just talk about this. Um, they kind of make up the hype train for Resident Evil, like Death Island. That would have been in the US, but it's in another movie and another country or something. It never wasn't like that. I don't know much about business. That's why I say some few things for example only, and it's not serious. Like I would have like take that spot, like similar to like Toonami, you know, like Tom or the host, like they hosted some series, the cartoons and such, a series, and that's why, you know, that's why they made Max, you know. Why have they made Max? Never have a short series like they could have brought. This is the reason why they brought it. But what happened? They removed Crunchyroll. they could have put live channel, and they could have put like Cemetery Hulu thing. They could have done like a taking Resident Evil for Max. Netflix hasn't renewed it yet. That finally will come. Maybe if they go in the same direction, same pattern to everyone. With the what like time or year will be released, that type of thing. Like you said, Resident Evil has been doing its own thing and release in those time from way back when it was released in different months and such or year like that. Not to someone all the same, and like just like that. And The Last of Us is taking long. Like Resident Evil could have a chance to do something with the TV series, but I'm not gonna say anything. But like I said, Resident Evil has been doing its thing. How they did with Death Island and Vandella, Village, and Resident Evil 4. And so, for now, right now, in the series, they Max could have taken it, but like I said, Resident Evil could take it if they want. It'll be on Netflix, maybe, but it'll be released, and that's it. But no, that's it. It'll take long, and just that right now, the horror movies are coming back some type of way. Like it would have been like what's called it's entitled to the series, but no, not really. Just some others do, but not. It's just a player explaining always about Resident Evil, and whenever that it's owned by Resident Evil, it's just that Resident Evil, in my opinion, like some players has posted, but never goes to what the Resident Evil characters will look like, and that's why the movies of Alice it was good, and even the Welcome Raccoon City, they went serious from Resident Evil 1 or from Alice from way back with super horror and zombies and like that. But what happened? But now is this way of this direction. Um, direction players could choose a different, a different, um, different director or some type of way. Different director could be maybe The Last of Us. They could take the Resident Evil, but if they do that, I don't think they want to put or show a lot of action than how the TV series of The Last of Us was. I think for me I chose Alice because they did right with Welcome Raccoon City. All they have to do is just be like they kind of a professional in some way and make Resident Evil 3 look exact same as them and the character is serious and an example, some examples. But like I said, the movie of Resident Evil of Alice hadn't made any announcement of a reboot to continue with the Resident Evil 4 they're doing. And then maybe another reboot could be, but that will be like how long it will take, Like I say, an example, Resident Evil has been, for example, it's different from the games than the movies. For example, the games has been doing its releases way back at a different time and year. But it always comes. But like Village, for example, and Resident Evil 4 Remake was 2 years separately. Or sometimes they release Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 3 Remake 1 year later after that, after Resident Evil 2 Remake was released. They could do something with Resident Evil 3, but that's something, it's like a player of crossing and to reach to like the next level or reach to the like story thing to match the same professional, but no, it's nothing. It's just that the two things I showed an example for Resident Evil Zero. You know, I see what direction will be for Resident Evil. You know, you can't like you have to go serious with the Resident Evil 3 and Zero 1 2. But I don't think they will reconsider doing that no more. I don't think they would reconsider doing the Resident Evil series anymore. And that's why like Nemesis I think they could have capitalized with the series. Like they don't think they didn't listen. They brought like Chris, Claire, and doing Alice. You know, they had the puzzles. They have like the traps or some type of way. They kill off Wesker. They make Wesker barely alive some way, and then they're the one that kind of cast the characters. They kind of want similar to Stranger Things type of treatment of casting and the story, and not too much bloodshed, not too much, you know, still be more horror. It would be like similar to Resident Evil Welcome Back to the City, you know, they did that example. Like they did have permission, they got the mansion right and everything, you know. Wonder if they went a bit further more, if they finish with Resident Evil 4, the next one, what will it be, you know? Will whether Resident Evil wants to allow Alice to like that was kind of the producer. I understand, kind of the producer of Resident Evil with Welcome Back to City, because he was the one that created Resident Evil 1. The beginning of Alice, zombies, and it was scary for me, some type of way because how he looks. They will have continue. They did look Resident Evil 3 cutscene. That one I would give 10 out of 10 because the chopper crashed into the mansion from Resident Evil 1. And then Jill just dodging. I see why they do great, you know? They could go on very serious, but they decided to keep these characters, you know? There's like, I'm not an expert, and don't take the advice from me. I'm just a player, just explaining that I know. And then Carlos is like from the Blue Beetle, you know, they could cast someone else. Like I hadn't seen them cast Carlos only in the Alice movies, but it was a different universe. They did show the mercenaries. That one I really enjoyed. You know, they did a good part with it when Carlos came out from the chopper and then started taking down the zombies, and then his teammates got like maybe the players wasn't appreciating the way it was. For me, it was good because you know they got hurt. One of the teammates, and Carlos has to cover them. Go have show more of that of surviving. You know, more of the team, like cooperate in some type of way, like teamwork. Resident 3 is like this. You know, like the Dark Side Chronicles. You know, the Dark Side Chronicles and the Umbrella Chronicles, like that. They have helped each other, Carlos and Jill. But I don't know from the game, you know, I don't know what's canon. I don't know if Jill I think she's capable, but I don't know if they're separate from Carlos. Maybe Carlos did. It does his own things. You know, like it was kind of like a Marvel Universe thing, superhero, where Nemesis could come out from the clock tower or from the safe rooms, off like up top of the roof, breaking down. Because Nemesis is capable of doing that. It is kind of smart. If you have played Resident Evil 3, shooting the rockets from the roof, aiming of Jill, but I don't think they will do that. I hadn't seen any that did right with the Resident Evil than just Alice. Just another fan film is Rebecca. Only that with Sheva, and it did, like I said earlier, it used the DLC example than just a fan game. That was like a fan film, and they did that. They did where the zombies entered with Richard and Rebecca and that one. But I don't think they want to do like series with like similar to Titan. I did see Titan from Teen Titans like that, the Nightwing and all that stuff, like how it is, but more like that with combined of Stranger Things, like that type of way, and they will have make it with Welcome CD that they use, and the cutscene, keep the cutscene the same, and perhaps they will be good. I don't know much. I'm just guessing directions and Jill, but I don't think they're considered they're not kind of listening anymore. That's why the reason why Death Island was made and in its own, they made their own movie. It took a while. They finally made it on Death Island, Resident Evil Death Island, and Vandella. And like it's like this, the movies. They took like they took Chris Redfield, they took Claire. They work on series, whether they want to put like what the fans asking, but no. Resident 3, I prefer like Jill like stars only being stars, stay as stars, no classic, no based on like from a different movie reference or from a different movie, Jill just be stars, maybe without the hat, which perhaps he will have the hat from stars, but she still be in that form, That's why in Resident 3 remake they had the DLC for stars. And Carlos, I like this Carlos than the hipster, It tells you, I know that kind of that it's serious. I'm not like it's good and stuff, but like this how like they were, how they look. It's like a movie. This was a movie from the original Resident Evil. This was a movie. Jill and Carlos. Um, Original. I prefer stars, than this. This is Marvel, This is a Marvel universe. Just in its own way, its own way, combined with that they see. They have put this on their own version, like the Terminator, the Jurassic Park, the most of Terminator, Nemesis, but he like would have been a game. I think they would have used like from Dead Space or Callisto Protocol, that direction level, but they don't want to. They'll probably be. We're not sure our next Resident Evil will be for Resident 3, and Blue Beetle, the movie. If Resident Evil has seen Blue Beetle, the movie, and it's just an example. If they have seen the movie of Blue Beetle,